we have with us for our Tiger Tuesday, we have with us Jon Armstrong. I feel like I should go into a radio voice here. But Jon, you know what? I think it's far more fun to hear you talk. Why don't you share a little bit about you and your Tiger involvement, and because it goes back quite a ways, and then
you bet.
Segue into your role at the admissions.
Awesome. Well, I truly appreciate everyone joining today. It's great to see everyone's faces, and during this time, it's always great to see people that I'm not in meetings with every day. Nothing against the people I'm in meetings with, don't get me wrong, but it's just great to see a lot of new faces. As Tammy said, my name is Jon Armstrong. I'm the admissions director here at Fort Hays State. I'm originally from Liberal, Kansas. So I was born red and redskin fed, as they call it, in Liberal. I'm a graduate of Fort Hays State University with my undergraduate degree in 1996. Met my wonderful wife here at Fort Hays, who we just celebrated our 24th wedding anniversary yesterday in Lark's victory in Wichita. So we were at the game, and my son has the opportunity to be a part of the Hays Larks summer baseball program. So it's been neat to watch him. So I met my wife here. She was both an athlete in college, and then when we came to Fort Hays State University, she was finished. We met, got married. We spent 10 years in Liberal, Kansas, from 97 to 07. So I moved her to my hometown. I was the admissions director there from 97 to 07. Now I have two young strap-in lads that are Tigers. I have a senior who's a member of the Fort Hays State baseball team, Jace. He's my oldest boy. He's 22. And then my youngest is an incoming freshman. His name is Dawson Armstrong, a.k.a. Benny the Jet. And he will be here living in Victory Village here in August. So my wife and I are both Tiger alums, undergraduate and graduate degrees, and now my boys have that opportunity. So we've been back in Hays since 07. There were a few places on the map in the country that we wanted to live years ago when we first got married, and Hays America was definitely one of them. And it's been great since 07. So this will be our 14th academic year coming up. Time goes really fast, but we absolutely love it here. I've worn some different hats at the university. I started in the virtual college and then transitioned back into admissions, where I worked with Tricia Klein for approximately 8 years. Had some great years of enrollment, and then transitioned back or over into the foundation, where I worked with Mary, who's on the Zoom with us. I loved my time, in the foundation, and then the opportunity arose to come back into the admissions office. So I've been back here for 2 years, and I truly love what I do, because I get to share the Tiger spirit with people every single day. So I appreciate everybody being here.
I love the reference to, it's a Sandlot, right? The baseball
Right.
movie. And my son is in high school with John's youngest, and I thought his name was Benny most of the time growing up. So that's really
right.
fun. Well, okay, so do you want to, at this time, Jon, for me to show my excellent Zoom skills, share my screen, and have you introduce your team?
Sure, that would be great. I would love to introduce everyone.
All right, well, let me work on that. All right. You should see it now.
This was a picture that we took right side of Picken Hall this past year. As Tammy scrolls down, I'll spend a little bit of time on some folks that are with us here in the admissions office. Mr. Hugo Perez is our assistant director of admissions. He's also our transfer coordinator. He's been in admissions coming up on his 20th year as well, spent a lot of time in the community college world, and we were fortunate enough that Tricia had hired Hugo, and he's still a part of us, and it was a great hire, and we love having him around. And he's a bilingual young man as well, and he's got a wealth of experience in admissions. Stephanie Dingus is our administrative assistant. She's actually the boss. She's the one that tells us what we need to do and when we need to do it. She's been with us coming up on a year and a half now. Bonnie Worth is also one of our administrative assistants. We kind of take care of two areas in admissions. One is the tour area, which Stephanie takes care of our tour coordination. And then Bonnie Worth is our student information processor, and she also works in scholarship services. Bonnie's with us for a year. Patty McCulloch has been with us half-time in the Kelly Center and then half-time with us as an administrative assistant. Patty's been here at the university, I'm going to miss a year, 6-7 years now. Tiffany Reddig is our marketing coordinator. She works here in admissions full-time, helping us marketing from all of our digital media, social media, and our print items that we create here in our office, and is a great liaison with our university relations and marketing team. We are collaborating together on our marketing plans for the university. Carolyn Tatro is our senior admissions counselor. Carolyn's originally from Colorado. She recruited for us. And then they had moved to Colorado, actually, her and her husband, who's a coach here in town at Thomas More Prep Marion High School. And she's our senior admissions counselor. Haiti Reyes is a Fort Hays grad. She graduated from Fort Hays and then went to Central Mo to complete her master's degree. She was there a year and then came here actually for the second part of her master's degree and just graduated this past May with her higher education master's degree here through the university. So Haiti is our multicultural admissions counselor. Katie Heinman is going on year 3 for us here at the university. She's a recruiter in Eastern Kansas who's also working on her master's degree. Kyle Stacken has been with the university for some time in a coaching capacity. Kyle was an assistant baseball coach here and a member of the Tiger baseball team for years. So Kyle is very well rehearsed in the Fort Hays State Tiger family. He takes care of North Central Kansas in Ellis County for us. Chelsea Jackson is one of our, this will be her second year. She recruited in Colorado last year and now is going to, we kind of changed up some of our recruiting territories again, and she's going to take a portion of Central Kansas to recruit. And Chelsea is also was a track athlete here at Fort Hays State University, so she's also a Fort Hays grad. Dallas Dixon has been with us for a year. She recruits in South Central Kansas. She's was an ag major here at Fort Hays and graduated last year. Derek Edwards was recruiting in Southwest Kansas last year. This year, he will move into the Northwest Kansas and Nebraska territories. Derek, also a Fort Hays State grad, and his master's degree from another school that's on I-70, and they're purple. I don't remember what the name of the school was, but that's where he got his master's degree. Cortland Rose is a new hire for us. We're super excited to bring on Cortland. She is going to recruit in Colorado. A super personality. We are very fortunate to have her in our pool. She's actually a graduate from Pittsburgh State University, so I stole the best that they've had, which is awesome, and she's going to be a great addition. One thing I really love is to be able to mentor some young people. Claudia Castro worked in our office here in admissions. We're very fortunate to have Claudia when I came on board as a student worker. She's going to be working in Southwest Kansas. She's originally from Garden City, Kansas, and she'll be a great addition to our team and love having a student turn into now a full-time employee. Mercedes Ramos is also in Garden City, and Judy Espino. Mercedes and Judy are our Southwest Kansas Higher Education Opportunity Center Director and Administrative Assistant, and they run our Garden City office for us for the university. On top of these, we also have approximately 24 student workers that work in our office. So our staff, including student workers, is just a little under 40 total people. And they're all great. We all love every one of them.
You know, certainly you have a talented team, Jon, but dang, what a challenging time for really a department such as yours that, I mean, I think there's power in the people and the connections and the personalities that you've had. And then, of course, getting prospective students to be able to see the beauty of this campus. How are you dealing with all of these COVID-19 restrictions? Is that the question of the year, I think?
It has been a challenge, for every higher education institution, and for that matter, K through 12, it's a challenge. For us, we do a lot of this, a lot of Zoom, a lot of phone calls. Actually, our students are answering email better than ever, which is awesome for us. However, the face-to-face value of something, for instance, I see Jimmy on here. If anybody has met Jimmy Brew, then they're never going to forget Jimmy, right? But when you see someone in a Zoom, and it's just it's a lot different. So we have to find a way to capture them in a virtual manner in some way, shape, or form. I'm excited about revamping. We started some virtual visits started planning in March, implemented them in April. We were able to build a plan here in the admissions office to actually visit with students face-to-face starting in June 15th is when we started. So we've been in the office since June. We are getting ready to revamp a lot of our virtual tours. You're going to see some personal types of tours on our website that we've gone out with our admissions counselors and videotaped some campus. We've got some drone footage that we're starting. That will be done here in the next few weeks, so I can't wait till that starts. And even looking forward, this next academic year, we're looking at launching a totally new virtual presence for our university, what's called a virtual view book. And there's just a lot of exciting things that we're doing. Right now, it's all about consistent and positive communication. That's what we've really been passing on to our staff, because our parents and our students have more questions than ever. College is not easy. Even just going to college and the separation of are you sure you have everything done? Are you sure you're getting everything completed? And now it's just another layer of additional anxiety. So we're really upfront with people about how the university is moving forward. For those of you that know, we have FHSU Live every Tuesday night. We've had it for 3 weeks. Tonight will be the 4th week, and then we'll end next week where we're on Facebook Live. And it's been an incredible opportunity for us to really push what we're doing at Fort Hays to be upfront with people. So it's been a challenge that we're ready for. And we've learned a lot about what we do and how we need to change. There's some things that we're going to keep that are working very well. And we just hope that people understand that we want to give them every opportunity to not only visit our campus, but connect with us in some way, shape, or form.
So John, what are you telling students? And I'm sure that would be of an interest here today. What are you telling those families about what they can expect this fall based on the different experiences, whether that's living on campus to attending any classes on campus?
You bet. We tell them, the scenery is definitely going to be a little different at Fort Hays State University. For instance, the university, as well as other universities, have implemented a mask policy on campus. So when students cannot social distance, whether that be outside or inside, when the classroom in a hallway, going down the hallway, that we're requiring students to wear a mask. And that's a big change. I think we're all getting somewhat used to it, whether people like it or not. It's just one of those things that is evident that we are going to do on campus. Secondarily, our events are going to be much smaller than before. For instance, we will not have 200 people gathering in the quad around a band or a concert or anything that's going to be going on. So the events that we're going to have are going to be in both an in-person and virtual presence. Many of them, some of them are going to be in a virtual presence where students will need to go online to be able to access information. So it is going to be a different environment, but we also have implemented some things on campus to be able to offer that opportunity for students to get that on-campus experience and be able to meet people. One of the great things about college is the social environment and what they're going to be able to do outside of the classroom, meeting their friends in the residential halls. Our residential halls have taken tremendous measures as far as getting rid of some furniture in some places and not just promoting a congregation type of area. There's going to be some seating arrangement changes in some classrooms. We went to a hybrid situation where some instructors may have some students meet at one day and others another day, and then maybe an online delivery. So there's a lot of great measures. The university has done an incredible job of getting the marketing materials out to our buildings. For instance, as some of you may come back to campus, or even some of you on campus, you might see some signs and posters that are up indicating, social distancing and just taking care of yourself. And that's the Tiger way. We want people to be safe. And we know that our students will adhere to those. I hear more students every day. Whatever you need to do to allow us to come to college, please do that, because they're ready. And that's what we're here to do.
I think it's, well, let me just add to everybody else, be thinking of your questions, because I'm wrapping up mine, but I can always think of more, I'm sure. But this is a group of people that can be your ambassadors, so to speak. What advice would you have for us, or how other alumni and friends that are just real Tiger fans, what type of things would you ask of us?
Tammy, that was an awesome question. And my answer is share the Tiger spirit. If you get goosebumps when you talk about your time at Fort Hays State University, people can feel that. People can feel and hear your passion. That's the best thing that you can do. The other thing I would tell people is I love challenging our staff to know that they need to get to know our alum. Our alum are some of our most crucial promoters and positive reinforcements for what we're doing at Fort Hays State University. And for you to know someone, if you could connect with that person, that admissions counselor, to say, hey, you know what? I've got a young lady that lives down the street. I'm friends with her father, and she's looking at Pittsburgh State and Emporia State, and they're all great institutions. I have wonderful friends at every one of these schools, but they need to be looking at Fort Hays because we spent time at Fort Hays. And, I see Harry Watts on here. Harry could say, I know a guy, and I'm going to give you his phone number. That one-on-one connection is ultimately so powerful, because that student knows that someone's going to take care of them, and it's a person. It's not necessarily an office. So I think those two things, being passionate about it, showing your Tiger spirit, making them connect with what you felt at Fort Hays and what they're looking for in a university, and then us doing a better job of it connecting with you all, so hey, I remember I met this young lady, at an alumni event or at a football game or wherever it might be, and she's a counselor at Fort Hays, and I've got her card. That's a powerful piece. So those two things I would say would help the most.
Okay, well, if anybody has a question for Jon, you may do so now, and just gonna here.
Fire away.
I am seeing some here. So I am just curious if, let me see if some of these questions that are coming up, as far as, can you maybe talk about how that freshman experience, it's going to look a little different this year, but maybe can you talk about how that is being impacted through these weird times? And then one of the other questions was, talk more about the Hispanic Institute and maybe some of its origins and some of its success stories.
Sure. I'll start with the impact for freshmen. We have a different focus in our student engagement office. We work very, very well and hand in hand with our student engagement office. There's been some changes on campus with what the student engagement piece looks like. And Dr. Taylor Criley has started to put together her team of people that are really engaging students throughout the process. So the first 40 days at the fort, they're taking those activities and really making them conducive for the structure that we now have on campus with result to capacity and those types of things. So really, with the help of student engagement and our student affairs division and us in admissions, and not only that, but our Greek life and the fraternities, sororities, those types of things are really gearing up for more of a personal touch as much as we possibly can with the smaller group of people that we can, but doing it multiple times. For instance, I'll just talk about this hasn't been published yet, right? But we always have a very large junior senior day and a very large sophomore junior day. It's been a tradition at Fort Hays State for years called Tiger Day and Tiger Mania. Well, Tiger Day, we would have anywhere between 250 to 300 students come plus their families. So you're talking Sheridan Hall, the bottom floor is packed full, right? Well, that's probably not going to happen this fall or in the springtime for that matter. So we have multiple options that we've talked about, but we're going to have Tiger Days where we're going to have multiple events with the same type of spirit to be able to offer opportunities for people to come on multiple occasions. And working with our faculty and our staff to give them the opportunity to work more hands-on, one-on-one personal touch, that's going to be our key. So I feel like the impact for our freshmen, yes, there won't be super large gatherings and things that we're going to be able to have like in the black and gold room or in the ballroom. But one example is we're going to have a movie on the football field. So these students are going to be able to bring their blankets. I think coolers are not going to be included possibly. I don't think that would be a very good option for them. However, I'm sure they can bring something to drink or be provided for them. But they're going to have a movie on the football field and be able to social distance around, Imagine 120 yards of turf and a big screen that you're going to see on our new Jumbotron. So those are things that we haven't done in the past. Yes, we've had activities at the football field, but that's going to be an awesome experience for people. And I just hope that our students actually go and not just stay in their res halls because of where we're at right now. As far as the Hispanic College Institute, we did have to cancel that this past June. We have kind of revamped that for this year, offering all those students that had signed up to come an opportunity to come back to our campus for some of our Hispanic recruitment days. So we're targeting those sophomores and juniors and the few seniors that had signed up to come back. We're going to have multiple days for them to be able to have some of that leadership capacity they would have gotten at an HCI event in June. There was typically that 3 to 4 day event, and we're going to kind of collaborate and squish those two things together we want you to see the spirit of Fort Hays, but at the same time, we want you to gain some valuable tools about being a better leader and preparing for college. So those will start up a few dates here in the fall and a few dates in the spring. We'll be getting those out to everyone. The Hispanic College Institute has been a tremendous success. We can't wait to move forward to get to those 70 to 100 students back on campus again. Hopefully next summer.
Yes, hopefully so. You had mentioned getting some virtual tours, and there were several questions regarding that, and you talked about drones. So I'm seeing in my head aerial shots, etc. But are you going to do any in-person tours? And in terms of the virtual tour itself, are you going to get more into specific departments and meet individuals? And then once these, I'm assuming that these virtual tours, once they're made, then we could see them. And I can see an alumni appeal kind of getting connected back again. So
that's exactly right. The answer to all your questions is yes. I'm going to start with, I see Jeannie's question in here. Are you still providing on-campus tours? And yes, we have been since June the 15th. However, we used to have, we limit our groups to 10 people. So what that means basically, if we have 3 students and they each bring a family member and they bring 2 people, well, we're getting to that 10 mark. If we have anything more than 10, we split up the tour and take 2 different tours at the same time. So we are limiting where we used to have a maximum capacity of about 15 plus their families, and then we would split that. So we had groups of try to go less than 20 because we want our tour to be personal and not with 50 people in them. So we're limiting capacity for our tours and have been since June. Here's what it looks like. So a person could call us or go online, schedule the tour. We get everything scheduled. They show up either in the morning or the afternoon. We have 2 options this summer. We'll have 3 in the fall semester. They will go on a campus tour with one of our student ambassadors, again, with groups of 10 or less. When they come back, we have a admissions counselor visit with them, which approximately takes 30 minutes with them and their families, individual, not as a group. We've always done these individual. It's a great experience for people to be one-on-one with the counselor, which we feel like is so important. And then right now we're doing virtual meetings with faculty, just like Zoom, like we are doing. So I see Jeff Pyre on here. So let's say that Jeff was the professor for a class, and Jeff would set up, we would send him the Zoom link, and then at 10:45, we would get on with the student, and then Jeff would be able to visit with that student one-on-one via Zoom. That's the on-campus experience right now. I've been working with our provost, Dr. Jill Armstrong, to transition back into having students visit with faculty face-to-face. Our target is that week, the week of school or the week after school, once things kind of get rolling, our students kind of get used to being in some places to implement a face-to-face faculty visit again. So it'll be a truly on-campus experience. Our virtual tours or virtual campus visit is all Zoom. We are going to continue to do these. We feel like we can market the university to a broader array of people across the country, that maybe we excite them about Fort Hays State University, and then they want to buy that plane ticket to come, or that 5-hour drive to get here to come see this incredible campus. We'll enhance that with a video virtual tour of our campus. This summer, we couldn't get into buildings, but I had all of our admissions counselors go outside of the building and talk about the building, and we collaborated and partnered with the Tiger Media Network, and they are putting together the drone footage and the counselor talking about the building, and everyone will be able to access this. It will be on our site. I'd encourage you to share it when we do post those, so that will be an enhancement to what we can send people everywhere to see our campus. And they're going to put together each individual video and then one big one towards, so everybody could watch the same video, and it just goes building by building by building. So that's kind of where we are with the tour piece.
Thank you for addressing that. Harry had talked about, he had asked a question sent to me about, certainly going to the online and distance learning has been a challenge for all universities, but Fort Hays is known for being the leader. Can you talk to that aspect of how we have had years of experience and are continuing to excel in that area to remain that leader in the state, if not a bigger region?
You bet. One thing that's been very a great move by the university for years is our virtual environment, now FHSU Online, and our on-campus environment as far as the pace of the course, the expectation of the course, the syllabus. Yes, the delivery may be different, but the expectation, the syllabus, everything is consistent. So for us to be able to take a course that was on campus and to move that in an online experience, it does take some transition, but we were by far way ahead of a lot of other institutions in having the opportunity to have a lot of classes that were online already. So they were already, the shell was there, right? We're just having more offerings. Now, there were in some departments that they needed some help and the assistance from other people that have taught online, and the advantages of how you can really get in touch with the student and feel like they're getting as much of that positive experience as possible. The transition was very tough. But I will say our ability to offer, what we have is 4 different offerings for students now this fall. And our ability to adjust to do that, we were the first in the state to say, hey, here's our plan for academics. This is what we're doing. Where there's still some schools right now that really don't know if they're even going to have classes on campus at all right now. So I was very fortunate that we did that early enough for our students to know how their courses are going to be driven. For instance, we have a few courses that are totally on campus, where they are 8-week classes. It's totally face-to-face because that's how that classroom can be successful in what they're doing with, hands-on types of situations. We have our hybrid, which is basically an on-campus class that will have some face-to-face in the classroom and some online portions of that course, and each professor will be able to delineate what they consider a hybrid course. So added flexibility for them and students, and that personal touch as well. And then a TOL, which is called a totally online, different from FHSU online, and that if a student was in an on-campus course and it changed to a TOL, totally online, then that student will have that course, could be at the same time that it was offered on campus, just not in the classroom. So for instance, if they had the class English Composition 1 at Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:30 to 11:30, a TOL course means that student will log in Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:30. So they'll get this face-to-face experience, and then there'll be other online components. But the professor will be able to adjust that as needed. For instance, they might meet 1 day a week or 2 days a week, but then the Friday is optional for them to get together and say, hey, I've got a question. I need a little bit more help with this. So they'll be able to offer a different environment for that. And then the fourth capacity is our FHSU online, which is basically you take a class online, you can do it when you want. There's no real structure to being in a classroom at a certain time. So it has been a challenge, but I credit Dr. Arnsdorf and Dr. Mason, our president, and all of our deans for really getting out there and having our faculty build a schedule and an atmosphere for students to try to have the best of both worlds. We make these decisions at universities, and everybody here, I'm sure in your capacity, you make some decisions and then 3 days later or 3 minutes later, it changes. So we just ask students to be as flexible as possible.
Oh, most definitely. Well,
hey, Tammy, I see a question on here, and I know I could talk here forever if you guys haven't noticed already. Jeannie asked a great question about student recognition programs. You all know that we're on, I'm going to miss this, it's either year 31, 32 for student recognition programs. A true benefit to what we're all about at Fort Hays. We are going to move forward with student recognition programs this year. I'm starting to plan those right now. We may be limited, for instance, if we use the Hilton Garden Inn in Salina, which is ran by a Fort Hays State alum, and they have different capacities for the total number of people, then we're going to be limited to that. But Dr. Joey Lynn and Dr. Mason and Dr. Dennis King, I was on the call earlier, they are wanting to move forward. We are wanting to move forward with them. So we are going to plan them. And then we're also going to plan another type of virtual experience if we cannot have those face-to-face for whatever reason. So there will be a student recognition program. It just might look a little different this year.
I'm glad to hear that. That's, there's something comforting and energizing about those traditions. SRP, student recognition programs, one of those healthy traditions. And so thank you for doing what you can. And some of this just out of your control as well. So
I see Jimmy has a hype video here. Jimmy, you know what? I'm working. We had a hype video for Tiger Day that we use periodically. Let me let you know that I'm all about a hype video, my man, and we are working on one because you guys know that we are building a new building on campus called the Fishley Wells Student Success Center. And this place is going to be absolutely amazing, and we have the opportunity to have a brand new welcome center for all of our students when they come to visit. It's on the main, I'm getting goosebumps. If you can't see them, I'm getting them right now. Woo! Because this main floor of the Welcome Center is going to have, I had the pleasure to be able to help design this thing. So if it's anybody's fault, blame Dr. Joey Lynn. No, it's been great to be able to design this thing. We're going to have, when students come in, there's going to be 2 big screens back to back. So there'll be a lobby area. Then there's going to be another capacity of like a theater type of seating on the other side of the building. And when students come in, well, that's what we're going to play as a hype video right in the beginning to catch their attention. And then we're going to have an admissions counselor officially welcome them to Fort Hays State University and then take them on their tour. And then they'll be able to see our campus. The facility will be tigerized like none other. But you know what, Jimmy, I appreciate you sending that, because I always like looking at those, because you can never have a hype video that's just perfect, or always trying to tweak them. So I can't wait to watch that.
Most definitely. Well, and if anybody has, I mean, we obviously need to wrap up and be sensitive to our time, but if those of you need to pop off, we understand. But if you want to unmute and ask a question of Jon, feel free to do so.
Hi, Jon. This is Jeff Pyre. Quick question. When we have a prospect that we want to get in contact or in front of one of your admissions counselors, do you prefer that we contact you, contact one of the counselors directly, or what's the best process to get people in the door?
Yeah, Jeff, you know, I would love it if you'd contact me. The reason why is in this seat, I don't get to really do a lot of recruiting face-to-face like I love to do. We're in a lot of meetings, we're in a lot of phone calls, and I love it when I can connect with an alum so that I can email you directly back and tell you how much I appreciate it. And when I get in touch with our admissions counselor to let them know who sent me this email, I want them to know. It's totally different than a student just calling and saying, oh, I want information about Fort Hays. But when a Tiger calls us and says, look, here's a person I think you need to talk to, that is so much more powerful. So I would invite you to email me or call me directly, and I will make sure that it gets done and they get followed up with.
All right. Thanks, Jon.
You bet. Jeff, appreciate you being here.
Any others? Well, by all means, thank you everybody for joining us today. Jon, thanks for giving all this information for all of us. It's always exciting. Your energy is infectious, contagious, just like COVID. Oh my gosh, you're just COVID. No, we really appreciate you being here. So yes, thank you very much. And you all that are joining us, please have a great day. Best wishes. And we truly do. All of us at Tigerland would love to be able to see all of you in person as soon as we can. That's for sure.
That's right.
So,
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
take care. Bye-bye.